Hey guys, there's been a lot of crazy high stakes action going on recently, so I wanted to take you through the biggest pot in online poker history. And I wanted to give you some context, so I'm actually going to show three hands that happened which led to stack sizes being what they are. To begin with, Patrick Antonius is sitting on over $1.6 million, and Isildur, who nobody's quite sure who that is. People think that he might be a Swedish player named Victor Blom, a very aggressive heads-up player, is sitting on close to 300,000. And Antonius raises. The game is pot limit Omaha, so you have to use exactly two of your cards. Antonius raises pre-flop. Isildur, as he's been doing a lot, re-raises him, and Antonius calls. So on this board, Isildur bets 14,000, gets a flat call from Antonius, and the turn is an ace. So now the best hand one can have is still a flopped straight with Queen Jack. And it's exactly what Isildur is representing by a very strong bet here, almost a pot-sized bet. And Antonius likes to take a while before making his decisions. So this is going to be a theme that happens in all the hands that we play, or all the hands that we watch. And the river's a 9, so now Queen Jack is no longer the best possible hand. Now there's all kinds of full houses. Obviously the best hand right now would be pocket 9s for 4 of a kind. But now Isildur checks, so he's been representing Queen Jack for 2 streets. And now he checks like he's afraid of the full house. So Antonius thinks for a bit, as he does very often, and bets almost pot. So he bets $108,000, and Isildur doesn't take much time to shove it all in. So now he's representing a full house, probably a hand like Ace Ace Queen Jack is a hand that makes sense, or King King Queen Jack also makes sense, where he had the nuts on the flop, the nuts on the turn, and now is shoving for value. So Antonius folds, and we go on to the next hand. So now they are almost 400 big blinds deep. Isildur is sitting on $400,000, and Antonius is on over 1.5 million. So Antonius raises, and Isildur re-raises him again, like he does very often. And the flop is 9-4-2 with 2 clubs. So Isildur thinks for a while and puts in his standard continuation bet of $14,000. This is what he does with anytime he continuation bets in this game. He'll bet 14,000 in a 3-bet pot. And Antonius, as we know, waits and waits and waits, and makes it 60,000. Re-raises him to $60,000. Isildur quickly calls, and the turn is a 7, putting another flush draw out there. So there's a club flush draw, now there's a spade flush draw. No straights. So Antonius thinks for a while. There's $138,000 in the pot, and they still have both a lot of money behind. So he thinks and he thinks. And Antonius loves to have that timer go down. He finally bets $138,000. He makes a pot-sized bet, and Isildur shoves. So 200,000 more to Antonius. And all the observers are getting really excited. So Antonius shows up with 10-10 ace 3 with a nut flush draw and a gut shot. and Isildur shows up with 7, 9, Jack, 8, with 2 pair on the flop, and a gut shot to the 10. So if we look at it mathematically, Antonius is behind here. Isildur has top 2, but Antonius can still win with a flush, a straight, or a 2 pair. So if another club comes, Antonius has the flush. If a 5 comes, then Antonius makes a wheel straight. Or if a 2 or a 4 comes, then Antonius is going to have a higher 2 pair with 10s and 2s or 10s and 4s versus Isildur's jacks and 9s. So at this point, Isildur has a 60% chance of winning the pot. And let's see what happens. Bam, a 3 hits on the river, and Isildur now is sitting on over $800,000. So at this point, Isildur left the table. He actually ended up losing a little bit more, but he left the table. He comes back, and now he's sitting on $678,000. This was a couple minutes later, and this now is going to be the largest pot in online poker history as of this date. So Isildur raises, Antonius re-raises him, and Isildur re-raises the re-raise, so he 4-bets. And Antonius, as he's been doing throughout all these hands, thinks for a while and makes a re-raise to $81,000, which is almost a buy-in at these stakes. But seeing as they're incredibly deep, there's a lot more room to maneuver if you're Isildur. So he hates folding. I can't imagine him folding here, given the stack sizes. And all the railbirds are getting excited because they feel there's going to be a huge pot coming up. So the flop is 4, 5, 2 with no flush draw. 3, 6 would be the nuts. Ace 3 would be the second nuts. And after that, you've got some set possibilities. Isildur can have an incredibly wide range here, so it's hard to tell what he has. Antonius bets $91,000 into the 160. The railbirds are just starting to go nuts here. They can feel that there's going to be a huge pot going on, and in fact Isildur makes it 435. Antonius quickly shoves, and Isildur calls. So now Antonius flopped a straight, but let's look at the odds here. So Antonius flopped a straight. He has a straight with ace 3 for the wheel, but Isildur can still improve with any 3, any 6, 7, or 8. All those would give him a higher straight. That's 12 cards. Now, if one of those cards is a heart or a spade, then Antonius, who has suited aces, a suited ace and a suited king, can still catch a flush. So only if a non-heart or non-spade 3, 6, 7, or 8 comes, then Isildur is going to take the pot. But right now Isildur has a 45% chance of winning the 1.3 something $1 million pot. So let's see how it plays out. 1.356, and Antonius takes it. And Isildur quickly reloads to $200,000, and Antonius now has over 2 million. Or I should say he has 1.9 million at this point. And they go back to work.